Welcome live to the DST show. We are just 3 weeks separated from the start of the NFL regular season. Of course, Monday Night Raw passed the other night with Dexter Loomis coming up again on the stage, bro. I don't know. I thought I can get all the topics on the way. I'll try to add some of you guys in. I understand I didn't go live like I usually do on Mondays, but I was off at the gym, and it literally took me until like 2 a.m. to get home. So a lot of stuff happened in just one night that I'd rather not talk about. But that would be my reasoning to why I didn't go live. Other than that, did you guys hear about the headlines involving the WNBA? Los Angeles Sparks had a delayed game over a delayed flight because they were riding over coach. They're that financially struggled. And then the issue over the WNBA issued from ESPN from the news is this is unacceptable. These are pro athletes putting their body on the line, and instead of getting accommodated with a hotel or private jet, like what? And that's over the responsibility of the parent company that gives you the accommodations and privilege you guys have on being on TV. The NBA is responsible. That's the WNBA's fault. Hell, the highest their points leader is Breanna Stewart, averaging 21-point games, is probably the second highest leading scorer on the NBA team. They look awful. Look, it's always a negative press. That's always the WNBA's like downfall when it comes to like understanding. Like they're always gonna be even in a bad tier below even college. NCAA gives high accommodations because guess what? They get the most amount of recruits in the nation of graduate talent, and there's more support over there because they don't try to push over a narrative than just a foundation of generational progression. Everybody wants to be a top tier D1 athlete. I'm sure somebody's mother could make more than the WNBA salary. And the WNBA just trying to try to put the NBA under the bus. Stop comparing yourself to a company that obviously succeeds more than you. It makes no sense, bro. That gets me tight. And this is over the Liz Cambridge situation as well, that she hasn't even played a full season since her rookie year. And this chick played for a handful of teams and barely even played over a full season or even made an all-star team. And made an OnlyFans over the same year because that's profiting technically more than her making a full contract. And, of course, we have the Brittany Griner situation that's still under grabs with her getting traded for a Snickers bar and a fucking arms dealer. Honestly. If you ask any child who won the NBA championship, oh, the Warriors, Milwaukee Bucks, I know damn well there will be nobody that will ever say, bro, did you know the Chicago Sky won the NBA, WNBA finals? That's sad. I swear they gotta sell those tickets with an Applebee's coupon just to make sure that there's some reason for somebody to come watch a WNBA game. And this is and you guys can take this as an account of sexism. I just take this as an account of logic. NBA has been the life support of the WNBA for about over 25 years as of late. And the WNBA has not shown any progression to try to take over the advice of people that are making more than them and trying to make their game at least more pleasing to the eyes, more welcoming over to female athletes trying to get somewhere over with their career, and then push over their parent company under the bus whenever they're just not getting their way. It's painful and unacceptable to just miss your flight and sleep in the airport. Matt Barnes even brought up that shit happened before. Sometimes they stay in a hotel, they stay in the airline just to wait over for the next morning flight so they can get ready for their game. You missed a flight. You didn't miss the season. Get over yourself. That's sad. Now, I don't want to go over this topic for the rest of the day. I understand there's a lot to go over. For majority of the year, of course, Monday Night Raw happened. And I thankfully got to see a bit of it because they were airing USA Network in the gym. It seems like Dexter Loomis has scored a settle with The Miz for some apparent reason. When The Miz was trying to interfere in that U.S. title match with Bobby Lashley, I think there was a promo involving Karrion Kross. I don't know what further goal the WWE has with trying to execute these feuds for a while, and Kevin Owens returning back saying that he embodies the prize fighter once again. He's just fat. And of course, further injury update with Matt Riddle. That's apparently all I have. Raw still like it just doesn't feel like something like I need to watch. No one over the headlines is being like, bro, what happened on this crazy episode of Raw? You have 3 hours of television and nothing to catch over the eye than somebody's just saying it's a good match. It's so encompassing to know that you have 3 hours of content with at least up to hundreds of talent. It just nobody can ever catch your attention. That's why certain people like just can't watch an episode of Monday Night Raw without giving a reason. Like, I should be given a reason to watch a television show for several hours of the night. Like, that's gotta be a reason, right? But Raw's not giving me that. Apparently, I'm encompassed as a hater as well for what I even critiqued Liv Morgan. And I'm gonna stand by that critique. Because still, yet again, like, Liv Morgan doesn't really draw. And even the time that she was over, anybody gets over by Money in the Bank. Even people popped when Jack Swagger won it. Kane won it. Like you guys take it like guys that were not officially over got a huge pop because it's a Money in the Bank. It's the same thing with an Ultimate X match. You're just letting a bona fide mid-carder just get a super extreme match out the way. They didn't even sell over to the pump that Liv Morgan just couldn't reach over the hump and pick up last year's Money in the Bank briefcase. They don't advertise it. They don't advertise the wrestler, and Liv Morgan just comes around looking like an undersized chick that just barely escaped Ronda Rousey. What can really be done with the crop of stars that are really there? All good in ring wrestlers, but nobody has a compelling character worth tuning in. Thank you, Lionheart. I use that on my IG, by the way. Yeah, I agree completely. Like, no one says that Drew McIntyre is not a good wrestler. Kevin Owens is not a bad wrestler. Rollins is not a bad wrestler. These guys don't have compelling, ongoing. Like, no one's gonna say, "What if we put Rollins in this scenario with Roman?" We're just gonna say, "Oh, I just can't wait to see them in a match," and then several months later, you just tell me stop watching. Just understanding that perspective, I understand like some wrestling fans want to see a good wrestling match. People still forget that this is a show. Like, no one's going to tell me that they're excited. No one's going to tune in to see Liv Morgan. No one's going to tune in to see what Karrion Kross is going to do, because we don't know what distinguishes his character. We don't know a lot of talent in what they do, bro. It concerns me. And I don't know what the hell was that a moment ago. Apparently, I can't even control the mouse. What the hell? And just knowing that, it's just agitating. Like, what's Riddle's character? He just MMA dude that's low-key, subtly making weed jokes, and he doesn't have a distinguished character. What are going to make these kids act like they, or any of the fans feel like they want to interact with these people? You can't write characters like this, Lionheart. I just don't get it. I do feel like we're missing in-depth character work into a majority of these wrestlers. They're just given gimmicks without any substance, and it comes out like we're just there to just see a great match. That's dull. Like, the Street Profits are just happy black guys. Bianca Belair is just an athletic black woman. Don't know what gimmick Cedric Alexander has. I don't get the premise of Judgment Day. Are they supposed to be a major heel magical brood group? Or they're just wearing gothic theme with no gothic behavior? Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley. No motive, no theme, no goal. They're just beating up over to the women, and Bayley's not even accomplishing anything with it. And they're never a major reason why I should watch TV. I just don't get it. So I'm kind of glad I didn't react to Raw. I'm good. Like, I want to live my life. I want to wait for the NFL season. I want to go over stuff that I want to talk about. Hopefully Logan Paul can make stuff at least a bit more buzz, because we know he's a bigger star than Miz. But that's beyond the amount of stuff that, like, can actually be controlled, because the Miz. It's the Miz. The Miz is a sub-count of everything WWE is, but he'll never be a main eventer. That's the sad thing. Like, he's the most safe, basic, bland, unaccountable, forgettable guy with a Hall of Fame resume. And I dare you to bring over... I want people to bring up what happened in 2016 when he was Intercontinental Champion. And the only thing you guys are going to reference is, of course, his Talking Smack promo and his feud with Ziggler. Then the rest is history, when he just became overshadowed back in, like, Mania 2017, Mania 27. And then immediately a mid-carder with R-Truth later on. And then lost to Riley. And then several years of irrelevance. And even, like, as good as a promo he could be, it's always forgettable. And also, I want to give up this small rant involving the MCU. The MCU has declined. I understand a lot of people don't want to admit it. Marvel Cinematic Universe has declined quality-wise. If this She-Hulk series cucks out the Hulk, the fucking Hulk, the strongest there is, Planet Hulk, if you guys ever remember that shit, Hulk is a badass. Children like the Hulk. Nobody wants to be She-Hulk. China was She-Hulk. From a film that your children should not be watching. The movies have been completely bland. Marvel Thor Love and Thunder was completely bland. So was Doctor Strange. Honestly, like, the whole thing with, like, the only conversation being, like, the couple is gay, that America teleported a different dimension to. And of course, knowing like this multiversal crap, to just know that Disney just buys the rights over to the Fox product of films that were already relevant around the 2000s. Like, they're splurging 2 Avengers films in 1 year. Literally, May 2nd, 2025, the Kang Dynasty. And I think the only one people are actually going to be excited for is Secret Wars, because every superhero and villain's going to be there. 2. And that's separated over several months, May 2nd to November 7th of 2025. Then we have the Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Blade, a new Ant-Man and Wasp movie, a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie where I get to see a fat Batista, and then the Marvels. Absolutely not. I will not be seeing the Marvels. You won't catch me dead watching Miss Marvel. Ever. The only thing I'm excited for is Guardians of the Galaxy. And possibly the Black Panther film. Because I'm black. And NWO New World Order. They should have... no, Captain America New World Order. He should have called it Captain America Niggas with Attitude, because we know who's the new Captain America. Nobody takes it seriously. I'm being serious. Honestly. This is ridiculous. And like, that Thor film gets me pissed off. Because it could have been way more different, because you had a cool character like Gore, right? Somebody named the God Butcher should have been a primordial focus, or at least a secondary focus into the movie. The guy had, if you kill count how many gods he did, he only killed like 2 in like a 2.5-hour film. And there was a massive MacGuffin that he just changed, like in the ending of the movie. He doesn't even get the perspective of different gods every time he kills. Like, if he probably killed Zeus, and Zeus survived, or at least killed the Council of Gods around before Thor came in there, that would be a bit more impactful to show how much of a major threat he is. Or a major display of the narrative not being love, but being belief. And then we had this whole comedic shit. Like, I understand this is primarily for children, but you're also showing mature, gory stuff with adult subtext with crappy jokes. Like, I swear 50% of the movie was jokes. And me and my brother were not feeling it, because we just watched the movie illegally, because I had no reason to financially support Marvel at this point. There hasn't been a good movie since Infinity War. Because it actually felt like a comic book film. There was a mismatch of every personality that we've seen at this point put into a major common goal to try to save the universe over conflictive points, change over their development, and then immediately the next movie, over the next year, they don't even give it a 2-year break before COVID started. Effing Bruce Banner already learns how to control Thor. Ms. Marvel's just Super Saiyan Superman. And no, I think it's Captain Marvel still. Nobody even knows why she got that fucking name. And nobody cares about her. Literally, she's apparently strength level stronger than most of the Avengers, and she could even handle the Power Stone. She ain't shit. Fuck Captain Marvel. She doesn't even have ass. Fuck that butch, dyke, Ellen DeGeneres looking bitch. I hate Captain Marvel. You guys can't disagree with me, I swear. And Falcon just to take over the legacy was just such a cop-out, because just nobody likes the black superhero. So we just cop him over with the white superhero, just because we just need more relevance for Captain America to still be there. And about the same way they're going to be with Ironheart, because Ironheart's going to be in the Black Panther film because she's black. Amazing. Just love the subtext of anytime we make a superhero, black superhero, we just try to whitewash them with a legacy package because we can't make our own creative superhero anymore. The only good film around the past 2 years have been Shang-Chi. And of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's technically it. The last several films can suck a big one. Fuck Black Widow, fuck Eternals, fuck Thor, fuck Doctor Strange. I'll officially call myself a coon if Wakanda Forever sucks. And that's coming out my birthday. You are not making me ruin my childhood and my birthday at the same time. I will have a stripper on my lap. Before that happens, I swear. Too many belts, too many belts, too many belts. Cinnamon just put ready for Raw and he had like 2 blunts sticking out in the picture. Of course the superhero trend is dying down because the majority of the superhero nerds are already getting overly saturated with the content. Overly saturated. Like usually when we did the Avengers film, it built over the handful. Before the Avengers film, we've built over the handful of superheroes that we've learned to understand, like, and want to coexist so we can get to the first fucking Avengers film. And then we got further on to get over to the second part when we get used to them, and then the third part when there was actually a major threat. And now we're gonna just get the multiverse arc over with these acts. And bro, if Fantastic Four sucks, I want to give, bro. But we let this happen because of our nostalgia's sake. Like, it's so bad that we want fucking that guy that was Gus Fring from Breaking Bad to be the new Doctor Doom. What part of a quiet Cuban elderly man sounds like the metal-faced tyrant ruling over the world with an iron fist? What part of that sounds like Doctor Doom? What the I wanted to see Ghost Rider. How can you... Nicolas Cage didn't even fuck up Ghost Rider. What are the Thunderbolts? If this is a ripoff Suicide Squad, I swear to God. Blade... Is Wesley Snipes still going to play Blade? I bet it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. Or Jamie Foxx, even though he technically plays Electro, Spider-Man. Even though that doesn't even account for, because that's technically the Andrew Garfield film that he played Electro if he had cancer. So that's technically the only black people that I know that could technically still play Blade, because what is Wesley Snipes, in his 60s at this point? So that's technically it. That can account for, they can get that guy from Get Out. I think he also played that guy that was riding that rhino in the first Black Panther film. And what is Kang? I don't know if they're introducing Galactus, or that's just me not reading a lot of Marvel comics. What the fuck is Kang, bro? Because literally, the only good comic book or superhero series that we're liking are more grittier, more adult, and a bit less boring and less saturated, like The Boys or Invincible. And hopefully, Invincible season 2 is way better and has less. Who is that black girlfriend that Mark had in the first season? Kang the Conqueror. Whoever the hell he is. And apparently he's supposed to be stronger than Thanos. And I think he was in the first that cartoon up in Disney, Avengers: The Mightiest Heroes. I think the series is already over. I don't know how they're gonna make Kang, I bet he's a notable figure, but more recognizable and threatening than Thanos, that guy that gobsmacked everybody and took out half the universe. How are you gonna top that? And literally just Secret Wars is just a splurge of Civil War, but this time all the superheroes get to fight all the supervillains. I bet barely anybody's gonna die from this. Just so we can incorporate more superhero shit. Like, I swear I've seen less subtlety back in the days with probably to most of you guys' grandparents when superhero no, not superhero films, back when westerns were the best thing in best thing that we or Indiana Jones, mainly adventure genres, were highly more saturated when it came to like superhero films. Like, anybody can encompass a western back in the day. That used to be a major pop culture, and now we're up to comic book heroes. So I guess now I'm looking at Kang, right? And he's gonna be played by a black guy, of course. Don't know why. He looks like Apocalypse if he had a spa day. And I guess he's an Eternal. I don't know. Is We couldn't make Doctor Doom the major threat here? Doctor Doom. We're gonna have a Fantastic Four film in a few years. What? And we have like 7 films until we have like 2 Avengers films. Like, guys, slow down the fucking production. Like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jesus Christ. In the two, and we have like 3 sequels. I just want that out of my chest, bro. I just want Marvel to like slow it down. I think you can sell over a few superheroes without like pushing over the production until we get 2 Marvel films that are probably going to be a total of 6 hours long. Probably 2.5 hour long films. Thanks for pushing over the production in the same year. And I bet there's going to be a delay for one. Probably Secret Wars if the box office doesn't hit for one of the films. And one of the films like I feel like is not going to hit is probably Ant-Man and Wasp, because those films always suck. There hasn't been a good Ant-Man since the first film. I'm serious. Also, how you guys and what would you guys be anticipating over the new WWE 2K game? I want less bugs. I can't even customize my universe mode without it crashing. Gameplay has inconsistent integral targeting, and especially when it comes to accuracy off the Irish whip, like it makes it feel like I shouldn't even be playing. Everybody does like the archaic shtick. Oh, it really helps over to the gameplay, and then I barely see gameplay about it unless it's by the bigger YouTubers that just been doing this for longer. Like, it just feels like a hassle. I don't have fun playing 2K22. Maybe because I don't have a next gen system playing it. I have it for the Xbox Series S and I have it for the PlayStation 4. And the PlayStation 4, I just finished Showcase and my career, so I just have a lot more stuff unlocked that I could do. But it just feels like a hassle. And AEW, we're getting some unfortunate news involving AEW, especially over the streaming rights for AEW getting completely they might not be on TBS in probably a year or two. They're that thick over financial situations because their ratings keep dive bombing. And majority of NXT talent are just pushing over to the higher competition because to back to WWE because of a bigger helm with a more familiar, likable guy that's been actually growing relationships with the roster, other than Tony Khan just firing you because you're just not with enough work rate. And I'm just a better person than Vince McMahon. I just wish when there were games simpler, like Here Comes the Pain. I hate DLC. That's the extensifying part, because the only way they're going to push over a product, push over their product to profit, is they have an internal, and I hate it too, but that has to happen. They want to profit more over the graphics department and try to feel like they're doing more content-wise, when they should have scrapped My Faction to begin with. Because nobody thinks of a wrestling game, especially when wrestling isn't a sport, and they just think that they can just push over a ultimate team for fighting. Wrestling's fighting, and they think they want you to do tag team challenges with a 99 overall Steve Austin. Like, you see them pushing up DX content when the DX Shawn Michaels and stuff should be unlockables that you should do over your My Career. Or additional showcase. Why doesn't, if WWE wanted to extensify DLC, make it notable DLC? I'd rather have that. If I ever hear a person spent over $1,000 on My Faction, just know their mother wasn't there in their life, bro. I'm just saying. And people ask for this. People ask for My Faction content. For the benefit of what? You're getting virtual cards with no medicinal value for the long term, and you're just garnering over packs of guys that you can already play on any other game mode. Why not we bring back Create a Story? Last game you bought was 2K14, Lionheart. Oh. Well, I regrettably didn't do what you did and just saved my money because I bought 2K22. 2K19 was decent. I think the servers are already down. But 2K14 was the last time they actually add story, a plethora of content, a long-term game modes. That Undertaker Beat the Streak challenge was probably the most I've ever thrown my controller in my life. Engaging gameplay with actually innovation that happens every year. Bro, I just don't get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But in every gaming company's logic, if it ain't broke, bro, just put something else. It's so gay. What's going on, YTC? What's going on? DLC is pointless. The point you're playing a Ubisoft game to be, oh wow, to be completionist. I agree. If that's extensifying anything, make the DLC be an extension over to the gameplay, not to just get virtual currency, so you can pick up for a virtual card when you guys obviously don't have the servers last for over 2 years. I think usually a WWE 2K game servers last until next June. So you only have a fair share of time to even keep up with the amount of content that you're getting over My Faction. So it's a worthless game mode and lasting less time than fucking universe mode. You're in a sandbox to create your own show. You can't customize your own backstage. You can't find any more external. You can't customize your own ring. You can't. 2K22 didn't even have promos back. Why not voice chat promo? Add that cross-play universe mode, online universe mode. We're asking for more stuff to do. We're not just asking for more stuff to waste. Like, why? That's what I want. More stuff to do in a video game. I'm putting my money into it. Why can't I ask for stuff that I'm going to put my money on and try to encompass more time with it? It's like asking a marriage. It's like asking for a marriage and then nothing else. I do miss Create a Story because I involved to attempt to recreate the best moments in WWE history and rivalries. I try to encompass my own crazy ass storylines. I remember somebody made over on I think it was SmackDown versus Raw 2009. No, not 2000. 2010, and somebody was like Vince Russo story mode, and they said something like Umaga's pregnant, Shane getting ran over, a miscarriage. I did an invasion storyline involving the return of Evolution, involving involving DX, and it was fun. Like, that was the most fun I've ever had, to creating my own scripts, thinking what character any other person has to be, why the matches have to be important, and just making like subplots on and on. I'm having fun. I wish WWE would allow us to add graphics like MP4s. Yeah, you have to just, unless you have a Spotify account, you can't select over your MP4 like you used to do on the SmackDown vs. Raw, and 2K14 was the last to implement that. You can't do that for 2K22. I have several games saved up over my MP4 and MP3 that are pushed over to USB, like the Kurt Angle TNA theme, Kevin Owens song. And I had that over my cause before I had to reboot it, and now most of my data is gone, so most of that hard work. Like, I think my brother and I made our own wrestling fed, but for our own, we literally made characters called the white and black Mamba, and then our own Spike Dudley called Lil Mamba. Like, it was hilarious. I think we kept making them squash Enzo and Kaz every week. And they were tag team champions for like 500 days before they had to lose by a ladder match. We called it, I think, NAPW. Worst name. Somehow, New American Pro Wrestling is better than my idea that was called Big Time Wrestling. You know, you get arguments with your sibling when it comes to stupid names. It happens every time. I want to recreate New Year's Revolution 2006 and cash in Edge. Oh, you wanted to do that, huh? But WWE won't let me recreate the arena. Well, is this on the new WWE 2K game? Because I think they have the stage. Somebody did create the stage. I remember I was trying to do universe mode on 2K22 recently with 2007. They had every stage except Royal Rumble 2007. And that was one of my favorite Royal Rumble stages. My life, all my life. My name is. I always thought that he said circumcised, and I got super traumatized. But honestly, if only I could show over this gameplay, because I don't have a capture card to share this over. But 2K22, it was a step in the right direction if you played 2K20, but it just overall wasn't a good wrestling game. And also, I just added Here Comes the Pain on my PlayStation 2 emulator YTC, so I'm trying to get more games. And honestly, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 might be next. Rise Against the Drones. Oh, it's in Madden 7. I do have Madden 7, but for the original Xbox. The saddest thing with that, I have no original Xbox. My cousin gave it to me thinking that I had it, and it's like I kept it because, well, I have a collection, so why not? I put Madden 7 next to the PC version of Madden 6. Thankfully, I can still run it on a laptop like this. Look, just look. As soon as I keep logging in, my faction content. Why? Just tell me why I need this. What's the long-term benefits when, like, doesn't 2K23, doesn't WWE video games always pull up around the holiday season anyway? So this will be apparently irrelevant. Why would that be anybody's major focus for a wrestling game? This I can understand for a sports game because sports games always had a trading card aspect. WWE games never had a trading card aspect. That's weird. I can check it out right now. I'm on Community Creations. I'll check up and see if they have anything because I know there are fans that are really dedicated on trying to like make every calendar year pay-per-view. And they made Royal Rumble 2006. Usually WWE games come out around October and November. I think back on the SmackDown versus Raw days, it used to come around November. And now WWE games get pushed over to October up the ass. I don't know what's the information for WWE 2K23. I bet they're still going to put Cody Rhodes in the cover, even though he's only been in the company for 3 months since a shoulder injury. What was it, a pectoral problem? I don't care about the ratings predictions. That's the same sad excuse WWE the NFL Madden makes whenever their content sucks. They just push over the ratings. Like I care, like Justin Tucker is a higher overall player than Lamar Jackson or 2-time NFL MVP. Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVP, is not in the 99s club, but we care that Aaron Donald is, or Devontae Adams is. All because he had one all-pro season. But the least playable person, all because Aaron Rodgers is there. I don't get it. It makes 0 sense. That's the only advertising they do. Like, man, I'm not a 99 overall. You get paid 7 figures. Shut the fuck up. You concussed bitch. I don't get it. That's the only complaint you have is like, look at this dynamic gameplay. Bro, it feels like I'm actually on the field. No, it's, man, I'm an 85 overall. Madden. That's the advertising. It's like back in the day, NFL players used to think it's cool to be on Madden. They're there. They're having fun, dynamic gameplay. They're playing like how they would be like when the hit stick and Ray Lewis was advertised because Ray Lewis was a big ass hitter. When the biggest effective linebackers when they came to pushing over the defense, the hit stick implemented that. You don't have game changing like that since they did the aggressive catch, and now that's the biggest hack in to making Madden football more archaic and simplified than ever. Yeah, whenever some Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series would advertise it. Yeah, that's technically it. Crush, crush, kill, kill, destroy, 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 crush. I put the link up over on top on the beat early in the chat, YTC, if you want to pull up. Say a couple words. I don't mind how short. I understand you're busy. Anything I loved as a kid. I'm sorry, you type something else. I gotta read that first. When my company makes more money from microtransactions on Ultimate Team over a game that sells in the price of $65, I would too sell out and give 2 less shits of Madden franchise mode. I'm gonna give that a favorite right there. Or anything you would love, or anything you loved as a kid. We're gonna have an Ultimate Team for Multiverse. Fuck you, Daffy Duck. I bet Daffy Duck is gonna be in there. Oh my god, somebody already made 2004 money No Mercy and 2004 SummerSlam and 2004 Vengeance. That took them no time at all. am, and it's pretty accurate. They hear you say, Chris, don't do it. Come on. I mean, if I was profiting more off the Ultimate Team and I didn't even have to care about the game sales, yes, YTC, I would. I'm going to agree there. I would give less of a shit if you felt like I didn't care about the franchise, but I do, because I'm the one buying it. I'm the one buying it. And yet, they don't even give half a shit to make me feel like I should be playing this game until the next game comes out. I literally bought Madden. I won the Super Bowl with the Cleveland Browns. I've tried Ultimate Team without spending any real life money into it, and then played their bum ass story mode. That was about in it accumulated 5 months, and then I gave up around the end of the Super Bowl because I felt like there was nothing else. Usually, the pattern in most in SVR pay-per-views, last year May around early April, following the year. Technically, yeah. What was it, around 2005 that they started advertising the wrestling games around the end of the year? Was that off financial reasons? I don't know if that was off financial reasons, because back before around 2004, before then there was third-party content. Like, you had the WrestleMania games and you had the Days of Reckoning games. You had Raw exclusive that came out for the Xbox, trying to rival, because those were from different partnering companies that were making the Raw games, while the SmackDown games were more profitable, because so was the PlayStation 2, being the highest selling and profiting console around the 2000s. So, yeah. Example, SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 from the Great American Bash, Vengeance, Great American Bash 2006 and Vengeance 2007. SmackDown vs. Raw 6 should be the Great American Bash 2004 and Vengeance 2005. Oh. Wow. Okay. And Great American Bash is it usually around June? And they do Vengeance around July. So that's still technically over a year. So that's still a major gap. I'm gonna check out my favorite years. 2005, 2004 was such a slow year that you lost a lot of superstars in 2004. Especially SmackDown sucked. Eddie Guerrero winning the world title was great. The saddest thing is the ratings went down when Benoit and Eddie were champion. Because, like, even though they were great talents and Eddie stole the show, Eddie had to steal the show at JBL and an injured Kurt Angle, and Lesnar not chasing over the belt because he was trying to chase the bag in the NFL. Just to barely even play over the preseason. Even though, imagine if Brock was good at the NFL, UFC, and WWE. I would never be talking shit. I mean, that's just me. I would never be talking shit. What position was Lesnar? Linebacker? SVR 6 should be around... Oh, right. I think I already read this. I'm going to check over 2005. Why does Shawn Michaels have pink hair? Did somebody make the dicks? Are you kidding me? You guys have no shame. By the way, La Resistance should be in the top list when it comes to tag teams. Because I know nobody and their mom is going to be like, I got influenced by the New Day. So over Kevin Durant strong arming over the Brooklyn Nets around the offseason. There's still there's news over Ben Simmons' contractual obligations over the Philadelphia 76ers after the Harden trade, and Ben Simmons still not playing over the remainder of the season since the since getting traded. He hasn't played around the play since facing the Hawks in the playoffs. And WNBA ESPN has been the most viewed season since 2008. I'm so glad they have viewers over the double digits now. Congratulations. Clap one up. And Manti Te'o just got signed to the goddamn Chicago Bulls. If you guys don't remember Manti Te'o, he was a main contributor over the Notre Dame team, making it over to the national title to lose to the Crimson Tide, and then became a top early round pick. But sadly, his career didn't go for him. He got, I think he went to the Chargers, to the Saints, and then now he's getting paid like $100K to play for the goddamn Chicago Bulls. And these guys are about to lose one of their best defensive players. Ben Simmons reached agreement with the Philadelphia 76ers on grievance filed on recoup to portion of his $20 million withheld in the result to failure to play for the 2021-2022 season. That's crazy. Somehow Ben Simmons still gets the bag, even though barely playing the rest of the season off. So he was just waiting for that much time. That's crazy. And we're still getting an immense amount of waves over the NFL season. Because it is preseason, we are trying to simplify it over to 50 people. So I don't know what's going to happen to Kevin Durant, because that's been the talk of the town. Other than the, if you guys like the Washington Wizards 2000s uniforms, I can't wait for those to be shown off. Bradley Beal's going to get 30 wins, but those uniforms are going to look so nice on court. And the schedule and the NBA schedule will be leaked around tomorrow, 3 p.m. If you want me to go over a bit of the game schedule, I know that Brooklyn will not be playing Christmas games this year because they're ass. I apologize, but it's true. And the biggest highlight out of all this is Rudy Gobert's trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves. You have got to be kidding me. And Malcolm Brogdon. I understand some of the top players that just made it are, willing to stay over and extensify their chances of being a playoff contender, so I understand that and I respect that. But this is just depressing. Just a weak NBA offseason, in my opinion. Now, I understand most of the free agents were contributing role players with only a handful of franchises trying to contend, or some trying to will over for a bigger deal. Of course, Westbrook and Kevin Durant were going to push over headlines, so is Kyrie Irving. Bradley Beal taking $250 million just to be mediocre, but still get the bag. It's pretty sad. It feels like the Wizards were just obligated to do that. I mean, it's not like they have terrible talent now than they did a few years ago. But Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who did the Wizards even sign over their offseason after wasting a whole max? And this is the secondary supermax due to the inflation. So what are the Wizards even getting in contention with all this? And this is just after the Wizards just signed just the $10 million for for John Wall services over missing out over the 2021 season from his leg injury and then just sitting out. So what are the Wizards trying to even do to accommodate for all this? Because they're obviously not a selling team, and they're obviously not a contending team. They're a borderline playing team that, if Beal's healthy, can be a decent second round. That's all I can admit. But now Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was on the Wizards, so they lost a decent spot-up shooter. Got Will Barton, Monte Morris, and Delon Wright. Johnny Davis got paid 4 years, $21 million over a rookie deal. And that's technically it. Borderline role players. Oh, and they signed Taj Gibson, like the uncle in a cookout of the New York Knicks organization. He'll be traded for scraps for probably Mitch Robb in a late round second round pick. I swear. This NBA offseason has been trash. But I wanted to keep this brief. I didn't want to stay in for too long. But I want to thank everybody that took the time to watch over the stream. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your night. That's it for me. Thanks for watching the DST show.